Dispatch to all units. This is a third alarm. Switch to the TAC channel.
You got water.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TAC channel. I'm your host, Heath Meredith. This is the Third Alarm Cowboys podcast. This is a podcast for firefighters. We talk about real life situations, stuff in your station like leadership and promotions, and stuff in your personal life like relationships and finances. You name it, we talk about it. Some things may be a little controversial, but that's real life, and that's what we're going to talk about on this show. Man, guys, what's going on? It's been a minute since I've been sitting in the hot seat doing a video, man. This ice storm that's hit Texas and stuff was kind of interesting. We didn't get it too bad here, and I ended up working and was on shift throughout most of the hard weekend that we got and dealt with some fires and stuff like that. You know, your typical people that can't drive in the ice. Hell, people in Texas can't drive whenever it rains, much less whenever it rains and then freezes. So we dealt with that, and pretty fortunately, we didn't have to chase down a whole bunch of busted water mains and all that kind of mess like we normally have to do, and down power lines and all that. So it was pretty awesome as far as all that goes. But here around the house, it was pretty much a damn mess. We got, I don't know, a couple inches of snow, but around here, houses and stuff aren't necessarily built to withstand the cold. So we've been working our asses off putting hay out for the horses and cows and getting all of our pipes and everything, making sure that all that shit didn't freeze and bust now that everything's thawed out. Some of you guys were messaging me yesterday laughing at my video I put up on Facebook where I was in a tank top. And that's just Texas weather, man. It was literally 28 in the morning and, real bad frost on the ground when I got up, went outside, cold as hell, and you have to go outside and crank the car because the windshield is iced over. And then literally that afternoon, yesterday afternoon, I'm wearing a tank top because it's 65, 67 degrees and hot outside. So, and then last night we went to a softball game for my daughter, and I'm back in jeans and a hoodie because it was back down in the 40s. So it's Texas weather, man. If you don't like it, you can just hang around for 5 minutes and weather will change and be something else. But other than that, guys, man, we've had a shitload that's been going on. I'm getting prepped and really working on. I know that there's a bunch of y'all. I want to address this right now. There is a shitload of y'all that have ordered shirts. I know y'all have ordered shirts. I'm not hoeing y'all on the money or nothing like that. That was a pre-sale. My lady is literally working her ass off. She had like 400 something shirts that she was making for me between the different conference exclusive shirts and then just our regular online sales. And then we also brought out the blackout edition. So she's bought another press deal for the to be able to make them and do the screen printing and all that mess that she does an awesome job at. She's bought another one. She's literally working her ass off. So I'll be getting those out to you like as fast as possibly can. For those of you that have ordered any of the conference exclusive shirts, I'm going to ship those out to y'all. If you order now and you of course paid for the shipping and all that, I'm going to get them shipped to y'all before the conference. If you still want one of the shirts, I am going to open up where we're going to do a like a will call type deal where if you pick that, you don't pay for the shipping, you can come to my booth and pick up the shirt there. That's going to be the other option that I have for you guys that really want one of these exclusive. That's for the Louisiana Lift Conference, the March Mayhem out in Boise, Idaho, and then we're also going to be the Coastal Magnolias over in Mississippi that we'll be going to that. That's in May. So got a lot going on, teaching a bunch of classes, a whole bunch of classes. I think right now we're looking at like 13 bookings that we already have for this year, and I'm in the process of several more. I really want to get about 20 scheduled for the year. So if that's something, guys, I do have the new Chiefs brief that I came out with, really explaining what we do with our class. The class that we have gotten approved is now, for you Texas listeners that are out there, I got with the state and everything I had to do. Our engine ops class is now approved for the House Bill 2604. So it's eligible for the grant for you to get that funded for your department, and it's also TIFMAS approved. So for you guys out there that are working at paid departments and stuff, and you don't have the ability to use 2604, we can now get you through TIFMAS. So I got everything approved and made sure our curriculum and all that mess is good with the state and all of the things that are needed there. So a lot of you listeners, I know that you work for volunteer duty crew departments, combination departments, and so that some of those grants you're not eligible for, but well, now you're eligible for everything. So if you want to have us out and have a real life engine ops class that actually means some shit, it's not just a checkbox. We truly do bridge the gap between certifications and real world application. I can shoot you a Chiefs brief. It's a little document that I had made up really explaining what we do. I can send that over to you. You can take it to your training chief or training captain or big chief, whatever it is that you need to do. That class is getting really popular, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm going to touch one more thing, guys. Moving over to video, I'm kind of having to play, I kind of made the little intro video and stuff using our music that we got from the Keith Ladd Band, where he gave us the ability to use the music to make our intro and our outro music. So I'm still highly thankful to him for allowing us to use that. But one thing that I have been missing out on, I haven't been able to do, is I don't have my ability to drop my sponsor, or drop my sponsorship reel that I have in here. And guys, that's First Form. I'm on my second one of these for the day. First Form's been sponsoring us for about 2 years now. Andy Frisella, that is the number one podcast for business for multiple years running, was the MF CEO. I started listening to him whenever I was, truly trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do for a side job, what it was I wanted to do to be able to not have to work for $20 an hour, $15 an hour, even $12 an hour back then. I wanted to be able to get successful and running some sort of side business. And so I've learned a lot from him, learned a lot from those podcasts. He has the Real AF, where they do, CTI, they do Q&A. There's a bunch of different forms of that. And then this year they dropped the operator standard, which I have, enrolled in that as soon as they launched it. And it's a badass platform. If that's something, you want a more or less like a personal assistant in your pocket that tells you how to, plan your day, what to do about getting your business moving, getting your fitness moving, getting whatever it is that you need to do. It's specifically like a personal assistant app in your pocket at all times. I'm not a technical guy. I don't know how it works, but I really like the app so far, and it's given me a lot of great ideas and really helped me out on answering a lot of questions about what I need to do with my business, my family, my fitness, my workouts, all that kind of stuff. So all that is really partnered because Andy owns First Form, and they've been really great to us and really supported us from the very beginning on what we're trying to do to make firefighters better and to handle a lot of the issues going on in the fire service. So a way that you could support me, support this podcast, is, you like energy drinks, you like protein bars, pre-workouts, basically anything nutrition, they've got it. You can go to firstform.com/Third Alarm Cowboys. That's number one, ST, form is PHORM.com/Third Alarm Cowboys. And I'll get the credit for those sales. And that's what really helps me kind of fund some of this podcast whenever I stopped doing a lot of the sponsorship stuff and started trying to focus on just doing what I wanted to do. And First Form has always supported this. They don't care if I use bad language. They don't care if, my political views. They care about that we're trying to make people better. That's all. So there's a lot of different options as far as that goes. I just kind of wanted to plug it all because I want to pay it forward. I really think Andy has done a lot for me. He's done a lot for a ton of other guys out there, including firefighters. A lot of you I see, you're repping the same stuff I am. You've learned a lot of the business stuff, especially on this operator standard. There's a way that we can kind of see, and there's a shitload of firefighters that are in that platform, and that really makes me proud. So I wanted to plug that real quick because it's been a few episodes since I've been able to do any kind of sponsorship stuff. So that's where we are, guys. I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. A lot of you are like, what the hell is going on? I did my little video yesterday on Facebook, mainly because that's where all the chaos is going on, is on Facebook. So I'm just going to put it out here like this. Guys, all you that follow this podcast for longer than about 5 minutes, you know that I really care. I'm very passionate. I get worked up. I get pissed off. I actually genuinely care about firefighters, and I especially care about my friends and family. Coming after my friends or family or anything like that is the quickest way to get me to an unhealthy place very quickly. It's been awesome. Those of you that shot me messages, in support, saying, shrug it off, this, that, and the other. But there was a massive page that all of you know that's on Facebook that got a hold of our Fist Fight shirt. They did their roasting bullshit. They actually did it a year ago and changed the wording in the shirt to be a derogatory statement and stuff, sexual connotation, whatever, and thought, ha ha, funny, whatever. And so, I laughed it off last year. But then I came on here on the podcast. I also explained on social media and stuff that the guy that we're actually making fun of, I felt it was unacceptable to make fun of. He does have a handicap. I don't think that's cool. And truth be told, at the end of the day, I learned a hard lesson. I learned a very hard lesson that we have, I want to say a lot. There is a lot. Messages I've gotten from you guys tell me that it's not near as much as that I think. But ultimately, we have a lot of shitbags that are in the fire service. You know it. I know it. We have a lot of people, at this point in time, they're perfectly acceptable clowning on a handicapped guy. And that's not something I would have ever thought was acceptable. growing up and stuff, you weren't supposed to make fun of handicapped people. But apparently as firefighters, that's perfectly fucking acceptable as long as you're on these big platforms and, oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's just a funny. Oh, you need to just think it's okay. So that's where we're at. I called them out. I lost my temper. I blew the fuck up because I was tired of seeing a very good friend of mine get clowned on social media because of me, because of this platform, because of my shirt. And instead of coming after me, they go after him. And so I blew up. I lost my temper. It is what it is. And, and I'm not going to say that I'm over it because the funny thing is, it's a great big old world. Every single person out there knows the fire service is a very, very small world. And, people get burned. There's a lot of karma that comes down. There's a lot of shit that shakes out. I've seen it for my entire fucking career. There's people that will screw somebody over at this department, and then 10 years down the line, they're trying to get a job at another department, and the dude they screwed over is now a captain there, a chief there, something like that. And so I have faith that as I continue to travel, I'll go around these conferences and stuff like that. Two things are going to happen. For one, these people that clown on me, they don't understand the platform. They think the Firehouse Fistfight shirt is stupid. It's this, it's that. As we continue to grow, I teach more classes. I make, more lectures and stuff, and we change more firefighters' lives for the better. I'll beat them with that movement. I'll beat them with what we're doing. And the messages I've gotten over the last day and a half has really proved that. The differences we've made in people's careers and personal lives has proven that, even if it's, one fucking dude at a time. If it's one fucking guy at a time, we'll look up in 20 years and I'll be able to say that I did a good thing for the fire service rather than just fucking clown on every damn thing that the fire service does. And so, these big page platforms, they are what they are. They make all their money off of trolling. Y'all know that. I was pretty pissed about it. Yeah, I was mad about it. But at the end of the day, man, I'll still stand by my stance that I said in my statement because it's been screenshot a million times. And a lot of firemen are just obviously too ignorant or too young or stupid to understand what I meant by my statement. But basically what I was saying is humiliating people publicly and then turning around and donating a ton of money off the money you made from humiliating people publicly does not make you a good person. Jeffrey Epstein is what I said. Jeffrey Epstein donated billions of dollars to people in all these different philanthropy, bullshit, whatever. It didn't make him a good person. The drug cartels here in Texas, they kill people, they rob, they steal, they do this, they do that, but every single Catholic church around their area, they're donating millions of dollars to, hoping that it will save their soul. It doesn't make you a good person. Donating money off of doing bad things, and I'm sorry, but humiliating children, cadet firefighters, humiliating, guys that live in rural areas that have their beards and they're overweight, but they're trying the best they can to protect their community, humiliating them because they have, bad gear or they're fat and have a beard or whatever. All those different things, that doesn't make you a fucking good person. The people that are out there actually genuinely trying to help their community to the best of their ability and doing something with their time, giving their time away for free in the hopes of being able to help another human being, that is being a good person. Being able to donate your fucking $8 million or whatever your claim to fame is for fucking firefighters that, okay, great. I'm happy for those firefighters that got the help because obviously they needed them. If their cities didn't step up, if their insurance didn't step up, guys need money, and I understand that's fucking great. That's absolutely great. But how you make your money at the end of the day matters. And if you're doing it off of doing bad business, I know a lot of used car salesmen. We all hate sleazy ass used car salesmen. You don't trust them. They're selling you crap. They will fuck you Monday through Friday at the car lot, selling you some broken ass shit for top dollar, but then they want to be the deacon of their church on a Sunday morning and talk about how godly they are. None of us trust those people. We don't like those people. That's why most of America has gone away from Christianity and religion as a whole. Is because they see the people that are running these church houses are shitty, so they don't want to be involved with shitty people. And in the fire service, it's no different. You could donate all this money, but if you're doing it Monday through Friday, your business is being a shitty person, then you're not making a good difference. You're just literally camouflaging your bad behavior, camouflaging the humiliation and the fucking, the terrible person that you actually are by donating money. And that's something at the end of the day, man, that shit can get thrown up in your face all day long. Well, how much money have you given? I donate a lot that you people don't even fucking know. I don't ask for kudos. I don't post my shit. but I literally have had to ask guys that run businesses, very good friends of mine, and businesses in the fire service, like, hey man, I'm getting all these requests. It ain't shit for me to get 10, 15 requests a month from conferences or firefighter foundations and stuff. And like, I donate to the point where I'm like, man, am I going to even make a profit this month, or have I donated too much shit? I don't want to tell these people no because I know it's for a good cause. And I've even been told by my friends, like, bro, you have to say no at some point. So I'm not asking for anybody to fucking give me kudos for donating. That's not what I'm doing it for. I'm not boasting about it. But don't sit here and ask, well, how much money have you given? It ain't any of your fucking business how much money I've given. What matters is that I believe in the cause and I gave the money to the cause, to that firefighter or that family or that guy that needed money for cancer treatments. I gave it to that and I didn't fucking ask for shit. Truth be told, it didn't even come from my business. Most of the donations comes from, if it's a monetary donation, I'm doing it out of my wife and I's account that I make as a fucking firefighter full time. It's not even coming from this. So that's my way of trying to pay it forward and doing the right thing. I'm not out here saying, oh, I've given $8 million away, so that takes away all my bad behavior. So, guys, it's real simple. It's real simple. No, I don't have 300 million fucking followers and all this shit. And hell, truth be told, in the last 48 hours, I've gained probably, 400 or 500 followers by people that simply want to come on the page and talk shit. I never got into this entire platform to try to, capitalize on having tons of followers, having tons of this and tons of that. That was never my intentions. We've grown a lot. We've done a lot. I've made some money, pay my guys very well, get to, travel across the country and really feel like we're making a difference on making people's lives better, making firefighters better as a whole. And, a lot of people now are getting exposure to the Firehouse Fist Fight shirt. And they're like, well, then they want to say they're fucking ha-has and shit. And then I did comment on a few and I would say, hey guys, this is not even what the shirt means. And they're like, well, what does it mean? Well, at the end of the day, I'm not going to summarize. If you want to listen, go back to episode 89. I break it down pretty well in that. That was literally what that entire episode was about when I launched those shirts. I explained it. So I'm not going to go over that again. But ultimately what it comes down to is giving a shit about each other and giving a shit about the fire department and giving a shit about the community again. That's what the shirt is all about. And if that's not something you can get behind and want to buy that shirt and wear that shirt, then why the fuck are you a firefighter to begin with? If it's all about jokes and funny, which I did, I'm guilty, because I lost my temper shit. I looked at some of these fucking profiles of people and it's like, dude, you're single, living in a fucking apartment, probably chasing bitches. You're the dude that I was at 20 years old, 19 years old. Great. Good job. You got a lot of life to live. And if you think that the fire service is all about that, well, the fire service is about making jokes and shit. Yeah, it's all about making jokes till you're putting your buddy in the fucking ground. I've been to more damn funerals that I care to think about and had buddies get burned really bad. The fire department is not a cool, ha-ha, funny thing. The fire department is a calling. The fire department is a service. It's not fucking Facebook. Facebook firefighters are heroes. That's another one of my shirts. That's my troll shirt to all you guys that think that this is what it's about. It's about being able to post on Snapchat and your Tinder profile and all this shit to get bitches and have fun. And you're that guy at the bar that's like, well, I'm a firefighter. It's not what it's about. It's about truly taking care of each other. It's about truly watching your buddy's back. It's about what it's like to be that guy that when your partner on the truck gets pulled out of a house and you're the one that strips the gear off him, you start seeing all the burn marks that are on him and the feelings that goes along with that. That is what that shirt's about. It's that taking care of each other when it fucking gets bad. That's what that shirt's about. So make your ha-ha funnies, make your shit, if at the end of the day, you don't believe anything I just said, you think it's perfectly fun to make fun of handicapped people and clown on handicapped people, and that's the mission of the fire service that you want, I hope to God you don't ever work with me. Your life is going to fucking suck. That's what I can tell you. That's what I can tell you, and I hope that you don't work with any of the rest of these guys that truly do believe in this mission, the thousands of people that have bought that shirt and wear that shirt proudly and make a difference at their department. I got a message from a guy literally when I was sitting down to record this shit. And basically he was, being in support and told me the things that are going on in his department. I'm not putting his business out there because that's not my place. But a guy that literally stepped up in a really bad situation for an emergency incident in his community where he's serving and broke an SOG because time is of the essence, because guys were sinking, literally sinking from the ice, going underwater. And so he decided to make a judgment rule to go straight to the scene because he lived on the water where this was happening. He was going to have to drive 10 miles out of the way to get the truck to come back. And he had the equipment needed to be able to get this stuff done. So he went straight to the scene. And after it's all said and done, and guys got there and he got help there and they were able to get the victims involved survived. And then the chief in the debrief has now said, man, you know what? You being stationed right there and having all the equipment right there, you're going to get a 15, 20 minute jump on everybody else that's coming from the station on the apparatus. So why don't we make some judgment calls and start changing the SOGs and how we operate on this? And so, he was giving me that story basically to explain that being an outlaw and standing against the system a little bit because he gives a shit about truly gives a shit about the community has now made change happen in his department. And that's like the best fucking success story I could ever imagine to come from this. And he was basically saying that prior to this podcast and prior to him following the page and stuff, he had given up on his career as a firefighter. He was done because of trolls and pieces of shit that had made his career miserable. He was checked out. He was done. He was looking to go and do something else. And, this podcast relit a fire under his ass, relit a love for the job under his ass to the point where now he's made a massive change in his department, tactical change in his department that's going to ultimately end up better for the public because now they have a responder that can respond 24/7, as long as he's at home from right there and get eyes on right there. Because as we all know, when it comes to water, time is of the essence. You don't have time to dick around when it comes to people drowning. So when I get stories like that, and it's in the hundreds and thousands of stories like that versus the fucking, 200 comments and bad messages and shit that I got the other day about how big a piece of shit I am and how disgusting I am and all this different stuff. It makes me grateful, guys. And that's something that I was going to touch on this. I had a plan for this episode prior to everything that went down, and I'm still going to touch on a lot of that because it's pertinent information. But I wanted to start this off in the first topic, really covering, being grateful and explaining to you guys really how grateful I am for y'all and this, movement, if you will, of Third Alarm Cowboys, in that guys don't really know. I don't talk about it much. Guys don't really know, unless you know me personally, you're one of my true friends, how fucking hard it really was for me to become a firefighter. And the pedestal that I had from the time I was a little kid of running around the fire station with my dad, and hearing the stories from my grandpa and uncles and all this shit, the pedestal that I had firefighters on, the guys that my dad called brothers, I saw, watched, wanted to emulate those guys so bad because it wasn't this shit we're seeing now. It was a real fucking brotherhood, a real brotherhood. And, the crew was together on the weekends when they were off work. The crew all went to late. I went hunting for the first time with one of my dad's guys, and my dad took my little brother, and they were sitting in one stand, and I went with, which he retired as a chief, sitting in another stand when I was like this high. And that was brotherhood shit. So I had these, this high pedestal of the high moral character and the brotherhood of what I had literally witnessed my entire life. It wasn't like it was me just pretending. No, this is how these guys were. This is how these guys behaved. It's how they carried themselves. It's what they did for the community. It's what they taught the young guys coming up under them. And, a lot of those older guys, when it came time for me to finally get a job, they were all retired. They were gone. So it was what it was on, new people coming in. My name didn't carry that much weight as it would have 10 years prior to. So I didn't get hired on at my hometown. I didn't get, the doors opened up for me and the red carpet rolled out. So, tested and tested and tested and tested for years, 5 years. I worked, duty crew, part-time, and volunteered for years before I could get on full-time at a career department. And it meant a lot. It meant a lot. It means a lot to me to be a firefighter. And I know from your stories and shit, a lot of you have been through the same thing. You've been through a lot of fucking struggles just to get to call yourself a firefighter. And, guys nowadays, I'm sorry, get fucking mad, but it's just the damn truth. You fucking guys out there that are 22 and younger, 25 and younger, you had it fucking easy. Every department, every suburb, every neighborhood, every city, everything in the last 10 years has had to hire out the ass. You literally, if you graduate fire academy, you've been able to walk in and probably get a job within your first 1 or 2 departments that you tested at. That's not the way it's ever been in the past. So it's been handed to you. You got it fucking easy. Most departments aren't doing a hardcore probation year anymore. Most departments are not beating the shit out of you, making you own your shit anymore because staffing is so limited and growth is happening so fast. The progression is happening so fast for all these departments. You're there 6 months and they're wanting to train you to be driver or less than 6 months. Some places I'm here within 30 days, guys need to be able to step up and drive. So you had it fucking easy. You've had it fucking made. And I don't want to be the old guy in the room that's like saying, well, you ain't struggled, but a lot of you haven't. And when I look, on social media and traveling and you're 21 years old and you've had a job now and you got it made, making top dollar right out the gate. You didn't have to be on probation. You didn't have to really get your teeth kicked in. And everybody has just open-armed welcomed you like you're the world's greatest fucking firefighter. And then you have the women that fucking love you and, your buddies all look up to you. And it's there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of tradition. There's a lot of prestige that goes on with being a firefighter, and you've had that shit handed to you and you ain't earned a goddamn thing. And I see it because I travel and go to these conferences, and when I never get any bad reviews. But when I do get a bad review, I've had maybe 3 bad reviews in 20 something lectures I've given. And all of them were from fucking 20-year-olds. And it was, well, man, you just, you're so hard on this, and you think you're just all about telling war stories, and we need to live up to that, but we're doing it our way. Okay. I'm like, well, whatever, if that's the way you feel, but let's see how long you have a job, because your chief ain't gonna be cool with you doing it your way. Your way, from what I've been told, is not showing up to work on time. When you do, you're hungover. You don't perform on the fire ground. It's a fucking game. It's a game to you. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. You deal with that at your departments. It's a game because it's been given to them. They didn't have to struggle to be a firefighter. They didn't have to test at fucking 50, 60 places to get hired on somewhere because no cities had any damn money. And so if you didn't have your paramedic and have military background, you were automatically not going to get hired because those dudes had a 10-point bump on you in the test. Now most fucking departments are not even doing a hire on test. You might do an interview. You're not doing a written test or a PAT test or multiple interviews, background checks where they're going all the way back to talk to your kindergarten teacher to find out if you were a shithead when you were still in diapers. That's the way it was 10 years ago. So you can say, oh, yeah, you're just saying all this. But no, the thing is, guys, is when we look up and we see firefighter after firefighter after firefighter getting arrested for this and arrested for that and arrested for this and arrested for that, and then you see bandwagons of people jump on literally thinking it's perfectly acceptable behavior to beat up on a fucking handicapped guy on a major social media platform. Now you start having fire chiefs that are like, who the fuck do we have working in our ranks? And I can assure y'all, very specifically, that fire chiefs are sick of it. And there's a thinning over the next 5 years that's going to take place, I would say, across the fire service. When you start losing the trust of the public and the fire chiefs start getting hit up by members of the public, by politicians, by the fucking law enforcement, and arrests are happening at the fire stations, they're going to start saying, hey, man, we got to pump the brakes on this staffing shit a little bit, and we got to get back to hiring good character. And that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. I'm not just a fortune teller. I'm not out here. I don't have, I can't rub the bottle and get the genie and him tell me the future. But I've been talking about this shit for 3 years on how character matters. Character matters, and you guys aren't getting it. And you think it's funny, and this is all a fucking joke because you've had your career handed to you and it's been easy. It's not going to be a joke when the fire chiefs call you in and they literally have more or less, public outrage is a real thing, guys, especially when you're in public service. Public perception is everything. Public perception is everything. And when your fire department chiefs start realizing that you think it's acceptable to get on social media as a firefighter and you got all your firefighter shit posted on your social media and you want to make fun of handicapped people, you want to make fun of different sexual orientation people, you've seen it. People lost their jobs after the Charlie Kirk assassination because firefighters thought it was perfectly acceptable to say that was awesome. They lost their jobs, even in Democratic-owned cities. So that tells you that even in a Democrat-owned city with a mayor that probably didn't like Charlie Kirk, still put enough heat on a fire chief to shit can a firefighter for their behavior. And that's where it is. You have to carry yourself in a different way. Do we all make mistakes? Yeah. Do we all, get DWIs? A lot of us. At the end of the day, do we make mistakes? Yes, absolutely, we make mistakes. But you have to be pointing yourself in the direction of trying to be a good fucking person. And a lot of you, I'm sad to say it, just aren't. You're not trying. You're not trying at all to be a good person because it's been fucking easy. And you don't think it'll ever get taken away from you. But I'm here to tell you and warn you all that it's going to get taken away from you. You're going to lose that badge that you are riding the coattails on right now. You're going to fucking lose it if you keep up the bad behavior. And I don't know how to explain that any clearer. Going back to the thankfulness and being grateful. The best thing that this platform has given me is learning that there's so many guys out there, paid and volunteer, combination, you name it, that genuinely love the fire service and care about their fellow firefighters. They care about their community more than anything. And what I've learned is we are in greater numbers. There's a lot more good guys out there than there are these shitbags. But it's just like in typical politics where the shitbags are the squeaky wheel. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. They're the ones that make the most noise. Where we've got to fix things, guys, and there's tens of thousands of y'all that listen to this podcast. Where we've got to fix things is the good firemen have got to step the fuck up. And I'm not talking about in defense of me. I don't give a fuck if y'all want to address the shit on social media against me at all. I don't care. I really don't. The only thing, I'll go ahead and say this because I've said it in all the multiple messages. The only thing that I feel bad about everything that's happened on social media this week is I don't want any of you to catch hell for the things that I've said just for wearing that shirt. I want you to be proud to wear that shirt. I want you to wear that fucking shirt anywhere. I want you to you wear it knowing that it means you give a shit and you're going to take care of the guys that ride on the truck with you. That's what I want it to mean. I don't want any of you to feel like I can't wear the shirt because I'm going to get clowned on. That's my only fucking fear about the deal. But in also going to say that is all you good firefighters that are out there that really genuinely care, step up, guys. Step up. And I don't mean, like I said, I don't mean in defense of me. I mean step up in your departments. Do the right fucking thing. When you see dudes in your department that are fucking up and making bad choices, tell them that they're fucking up and making bad choices. And if they continue to do it, then oust their ass. Because when it all shakes out and it all comes down and the accountability train hits your department, you're all guilty. The city council doesn't give a shit that it was just that one or two guys. Well, did y'all know about it? Yeah, we knew about it, but such and such, that's just who they are. Nuh-uh, you're all done. Guilty by association is a real thing, guys. It's a real thing, especially in public perception. It's even worse in public perception. So I ask you all, stop being this silent majority shit that people want to try to tell you to be. Stop standing by and Sweeney, Texas, right now I've been sharing it because I'm fucking livid about it. The fire chief there has been popped for all this shit with minors. Sexual relations with underage girls, all this shit. One of his firefighters was arrested too because he was highly involved. You're not gonna fucking tell me that the fire chief of 20 years there had all this shit going on with underage girls. I think it was like 13 different girls at this point. In that small community, a firefighter was also involved in the shit and had videos and stuff of everything that was going on, and no one else in the fucking department knew about it for the last 20 years. We have to stop burying our heads in the sand, because as it looks right now, when the fire chief is arrested and another member is arrested for that department, the public perception is that whole department is a bunch of pedophiles because no one said anything. Now, I hope as details come out, I hope that the motherfucker that turned them in was a firefighter that worked there, that turned them into the cops. That's what I hope. And that's not snitching on your brother. That's not, oh, he ratted. That's not that. That is standing up for against something that is so heinous. It supersedes brotherhood. Now, brotherhood. Brotherhood is something, guys, that has been so misconstrued, and you guys think that it's brotherhood just is because you have an IAFF sticker or you have a Fool's chapter, that just automatically makes it all about brotherhood. There's a guy that was recently on the Mike Goldstein's The Can Report that, forgive me, I don't remember his name, but he has a book out there that he's introduced stuff called Brotherhood is a Verb. Could not agree more. Brotherhood is absolutely a verb. It's what you do. It's not a sticker. It's not a shirt you wear. It's not a hat you wear. It's not a fucking tattoo that you all go and get together. It's not going and drinking beer together. Brotherhood is looking after each other. And looking after each other is also holding each other fucking accountable for when your guy's doing wrong. That is brotherhood. And having their back, even when they're not in the room. That is brotherhood. Tons of you have messaged me after I did my video giving some context to all of this fucking fuckery on social media. And they're like, man, you know, the fact that you look after your friends even when they're not in the room, that's real brotherhood. Absolutely it is. And I can't be the only person doing that. Every one of you has to be doing that as well. Or it means nothing. Brotherhood means absolutely nothing. So that's what I challenge you all to do, is step up and actually do something. Say something. Be that guy. If there's some shit, money getting stolen in your department, fuck stuff. There's, you know, if your buddy, you know, doesn't have their shirt tucked in or forgets to fucking, you know, do some shit, whatever, something simple. That's where you're like, hey man, you fucked that up, you know, but we'll take care of it. And you don't have to run to the fucking chief behind that shit, obviously. You don't need to run to HR. I'm not a fan of HR at all. That's where that shit comes into play, where you just take care of it and you're keeping it on your... But a guy doing absolute shit like stealing money from the fire department or pedophile shit with underage boys and girls, because there's some of that going on both damn directions at some of these departments. You know, all that kind of stuff. There is no covering for that. Because the only covering for that that's going to happen is your ass in a vice too. And the quicker guys get that shit through their head that public perception means everything. And whenever it comes down and says such and such city fire department, firefighter, fire chief, or anywhere in between indicted or found guilty of this, you're all fucked. That's the public perception. You're all pedophiles. You're all thieves. That is what matters, is stepping up and stopping that shit and doing something. Now's where I'm going to change the subject a little bit, because I'm about halfway into this episode and I really wanted to cover this on this episode just to give myself a little different topic to discuss. But it actually is a perfect transition, because how do you do that? How do you start that? Well, guys, I'll be the first one to tell you, man. One of the big things that's lost in today's fire service is that maturity older guy. When I got started, when I came in, to the fire service. Most of your captains were older guys. You know, they were 35, 40 years old, been on the job a long time, had a lot of life experience, had a lot of tactical operational experience. You did not have 22 and 25-year-old captains back then. You just didn't. And I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever. That's just a fact of the fucking nature. The captains have been on the job a long time, and they were more or less the dad in the fucking room. That's the truth. Where we are now, because of the growth, because of this, because of that, you know, we got guys coming in on the job, 18, 21 years old, whatever, young kids, they fucking still live at home with their parents. Why? Because you can't fucking afford to buy a house in this economy, and I totally understand that. But now they're 24 years old, they're making captain. They have no life experience. They've lived at home with their parents. Their parents probably still have them on their auto insurance and shit like that, like real life experience of things, do's, don't do's, hard lessons learned, all this, and then now they're the captain. Okay? That's just a fact of the nature too. That is where we are at a lot of departments across this nation. There's no taking it back. That's what it is. So what I'm going to tell you guys and try to teach y'all in this episode is where you need to start. And I don't care if you made captain today or you made captain 2 years ago and you're trying to play catch up. This is where you need to start. And I'm not King Dingaling, best captain that there ever was. There are some guys that are fucking way better than I could have ever dreamed about being. But what I will tell you all, regardless of what fucking social media says this week, guys that worked for me, even guys that didn't really like me because I was a hard ass or whatever, a decade later at this point, they still respect me, still reach out to me, still call me, still have some sort of a relationship with me, or even if it's not that, they don't badmouth me about my abilities as a captain. I'm known for how I was as a captain, and that's it, okay? I'm not saying I was the best, but I'm definitely not the worst. And where it all starts, guys, is one big thing is understanding as a captain, you're no longer one of the guys. You're not. You have to ride the line. You can be there with the guys. You can have fun with the guys. And I'll even tell them every day, this is where it starts. This is where it starts. Whether I got a new member of the crew for that day or whether I got, moved stations and I got a whole new crew. Every time I had a new person sitting at the table for me for that day, I had an expectations talk. As an officer, everything lands on your fucking shoulders. And the quicker that you guys understand that, the better off. Because there is no this, oh, well, they didn't teach me. Oh, it don't matter. In the court of law, you're it. You're making that big bucks. You got them fucking bugles on your damn chest. You're it. Plain and simple. That's it. Have the expectations talk with your guys. And some of you, or at this point, a lot of you have worked with me or around me or whatever. And so, this was the deal. I was known for this. Sit the guys down at breakfast. I let the guys come in. They do their truck checks. They run their shit. I go out there and check all my stuff in my area on the truck, the things that I need to do and get all that. Go in there, put payroll in the mornings. Make sure that we're going to get fucking paid. Check the schedule. Make sure the chiefs don't have no bullshit assigned for us and all that kind of stuff. All the captain crap that you got to do. It is what it is. And then we get ready for breakfast. I'll watch the guys. You got to watch your guys. Don't ever come in there, especially if you're a new captain going to a crew. Don't ever come in there and start big dicking from the get-go. Let the guys do it the way that they've been doing it. See how things are running. If it's a well-oiled machine, don't throw a wrench in it. Don't fuck it up. That's where your ego comes in, where you think, oh, it's got to be my way. Well, if these guys, that you walk into a crew like I did, I was the fucking young guy. Most of these dudes in the fire that were on my crew have been in the fire service at least 10 years more than me. And most of them have been in their position 10, 15 years at that. So I walk in and I got all old heads as my first captain's job. There's nothing for me to tell them. I don't need to tell them how to check a fucking air pack off. I don't need to tell them how to check the pump panel off. I don't need to tell the medics how to check the box off. These guys knew what the hell they were doing. So I just watch them. Make sure that we weren't missing anything. That's it. Make sure that, the medic didn't forget to check the narcs off. Make sure that, the little stuff. Everything's good. Everything's good. Sit down at breakfast, and a lot of times I cooked. I'm big on cooking breakfast. That's the meal that I enjoy. I enjoy cooking. So that's what I would do. holler at the guys, tell them, hey, breakfast is ready. Come in, we sit down. Be like, hey guys, some of us will work together, some of us hadn't, whatever that picture looks like for you. And I would just make it real simple, like, hey, I'm gonna have an expectations talk with y'all, tell y'all what I expect out of me. I want y'all to tell me what you expect out of me. This is not a formal thing. This is not I'm the captain, I'm gonna shake my fucking collar brass at you, and I'm gonna tell you how it is. No, we're a family, we're gonna be together a long fucking time, hopefully, if everything works out good, and then we don't have, I don't ever wanna lose a person unless they're promoting or retiring. That's the only two reasons. I don't want somebody taken from me for discipline. I don't want somebody taken from me because they have to go, don't want to work on this crew and they choose to go somewhere. I don't ever want that. Promotions and retirement should be the only reason why you lose people on a crew. But it's like, hey guys, this is the expectations that I have of you. I want to be the best crew that's out there. I want to be the best crew, known on the shift, known at the department, whatever it looks like. So we're going to train a lot. I let the guys know, like, hey, we're going to train a lot. We're going to do a lot of hands-on. I'm not doing PowerPoints. I'm not going to beat y'all to death with fucking online CE bullshit. We're not doing any of that. We are going to train a lot, hands-on in our district, get to know our district, because that's where we're going to be responding. I'm not responding on the other side of Houston. I'm responding right here. So between this street and this street, we're going to know it. We're going to know where the hydrants are. We're going to know where our target hazards are. We're going to know the streets. We're going to know the apartment complexes, how the courtyards are laid out. We're going to know this stuff. So y'all just buckle up and get ready. If this is a new crew. If you're just getting a new guy, you tell them, like, hey, this is what we work on. You're coming here. You got a lot of catching up to do, but we'll get you there. It's not a mean thing. It's just we're going to get you there. And then you lay out simple things like, hey, y'all know that the chief, sometimes I'll try to lay out the day of what I want to do. I like to get everything knocked out by noon, lunchtime. So in the afternoons, we can chill, because in our district, we run a lot at night. So afternoons, we like to have some quiet time. We like to knock it out because nighttime's going to suck around here. So you're just honest about that stuff. And then if there's pet peeves that you have, let the guys know that. I tell all of you straight up, I got some serious pet peeves. I can't stand a late fireman. Can't stand it. Every department I've ever worked at, I was the furthest commute of the whole department. I'm not saying there isn't people out there that drive further than me. There probably is. But everywhere I've worked, I was the furthest commute. And I'm like, man, if I can drive 2.5, 3 hours and make it here 30 minutes early, you live 30 minutes down the road, you have no fucking excuse. Bring your ass to work. Now, if you have a flat tire, if you have, like me, if I hit a fucking deer on the way there or some shit, yeah, I might be late to work. But you call and let somebody know. First of all, you call the guy that you're relieving and you let them know, hey man, such happened. I'm coming in, but I'm coming in late. Can you hang over for me? You make it right with that guy. Then you let your captain know, hey cap, had a flat tire, I'm getting my shit, I'm coming. Okay, bet, cool. Take it up with your relief. If you need to spot your relief on some cash, chiefs, plug your ears. If you got to spot your relief on some cash to make it right, then do that. Then just take care of it. If you go come in early for them next time, that's an option for you young guys that don't know. Take care of your guy. Shoot him a Cash App, shoot him a Zelle, or the vice versa, and fucking come in early for him an hour next time so he can cut the fuck out. You make it right with your guys. That's it. You just make it right with them. Then, I'll tell them, my biggest pet peeves is when it comes to cleaning, I'm not one of these guys, fire God strike me down, it is what it is. I'm not one of these dudes that's ate up with everything having to be parade ready clean all the time. Every station I was ever at was busy. We ran a lot of calls, fire and EMS. It didn't matter. I was in the mood and the mindset that like, hey, this is equipment. The fire truck, yeah, if it's absolutely disgusting, yes, we'll wash it. But I'm not washing trucks to wash trucks. Some guys out there, that's what you do. Some departments out there, that's what's required. Fine. But for me, I grew up working heavy equipment, grew up on farm, ranch life, all this stuff, working in the oil field. You ain't never going to go on a drilling rig and see a spotless fucking drilling rig. It's not going to happen because working equipment gets dirty. So the way I view that, that fire truck that's running and working, it's going to get dirty. It just is. Now, you take care of it to the best of your abilities. Don't rag it out and treat it like shit. But we're not going to waste time. If I'm going to spend time on something, it's going to be on training to keep guys alive and keep the community alive, not on just washing trucks to wash trucks. So the things I will say that I am a pet peeve about is the two areas in the station that I do want spotless is, where you cook your food in the kitchen needs to be clean and where you wash your ass in the bathroom needs to be clean. I don't want to go in the bathroom, see a bunch of pubes and damn skid marks and piss stains everywhere. That ain't gonna happen. If I go in the bathroom and it's like that, that's your ass. That's my expectation. In the kitchen, keep the kitchen clean. This is my talk. Captains out there, if that stuff doesn't bother you, then it doesn't bother you. But for me, this is what I let the guys know, because they don't want the captain on their back. I was raised in the fire service where if it got to the captain, somebody was getting in trouble. You didn't want the captain on your ass. So this is just simply my way to keep the captain off your ass. This is the expectations that I have. And the guys were always completely open to this. They know where to stand. Then you move on down the list of things like, hey, if you're riding a Bravo seat, this is my expectations of what I want out of the Bravo seat. You're the nozzle guy. You need to have the line stretch. You be waiting at the front door. When I get my 360, I'm going to be on your ass and we're going in. That's my expectation of you. Charlie guy, you're the tool guy. If there's anything that needs to be forced, you need to get that done. If this building needs to be softened, you need to get that done. All the different things that I expect out of that seat, tell them. EO, hey man, make sure that we got water. I expect you to learn how each fireman on our crew, what they like. I don't believe in this blanket down uniformity, pump at this pressure shit, because if I have a 100-pound person or a 300-pound person, the nozzle reaction on them is going to make a fuck when I'm inside fighting with them. So we're going to learn through the training and the hands-on where guys are getting the best GPM out of the nozzle for the best pressure for what they can work. That's just how it is. We cater our pump shit to what works best for our crews, not a blanket fucking statement for, hey, you're just going to pump this preset and rock with it. That's not how I operate. So through training, we'll get that stuff worked out. My expectations for you is get us water, get us handled. If it's nighttime, get us some damn lights up, help the Charlie guy get some shit softened. Number one job of EOs, take fucking pictures. Hello. Other than that, man, any other equipment, and be our eyes on the outside. We're making this push inside. I can't see what's going on. If something's going on, you watch the fucking building and let me know if conditions change. If we need to get the fuck out. You are our safety until the chief or second in company stuff get there. You got our back. So I give them that expectation to the EO. Just work your way down. And any guy that rotates into your crew, whether they're riding Bravo, they're riding Charlie, whatever the fuck, you can literally change this conversation and make it very simple for everybody to understand. But then everybody knows when they walk in the door, like, hey, working here, this is what we do. And then it all just comes together. Then I flip it around and I'm like, hey man, okay, I'm a new captain to y'all. What are y'all's expectations of me? And I've been told everything from like, hey, we want you to make sure the Chiefs aren't on our ass. Okay, done, bet. As long as we're doing this shit, the Chiefs ain't going to be on our ass. We want you to make sure that you are 100% transparent with us. If the Chief gives you some information or whatever, like we've worked for captains in the past that they held all the information from officer meetings, or they didn't let us know what the Chief was wanting. Then we get blindsided by this or get blindsided by that. Absolutely. You want transparency from me? Done. You got it. I've been asked multiple different things like that. I've had a guy ask me like, hey, my expectation of captain is you to teach me and guide me to get this certain, that certain. This is what I want out of my career, the direction I want to go. Can you help me get there? Yes, absolutely. We will work through those things. I'll get you more trained up on what you need to be trained up on. I'll guide you in the best way I can. I will, make sure that the Chief knows this is where you're wanting to go in your career. And we'll get all that done. The paperwork, all that kind of bullshit. Yes, if that's your expectations of me, that's a check mark. I got you on that. And you go through that list and work through it with the guys. It is a very simple thing, but I'm here to tell you, no one's doing it anymore. Captains aren't doing this anymore. And I don't know if it's because of lack of knowledge of being taught, like, hey, this is what you should do, which I'm going to say that's probably what it is. When you got a 24-year-old that he worked for a captain that was 26, and that 26-year-old didn't teach a 24-year-old, like, hey, this is how you come in and start building a crew. Well, that's where you are. That's just what happens. So, this is just my way to try to give you guys some advice on what you should do if you are that captain and you're trying to make a difference and trying to start grow your crew. And then get your ass out there, man. If you want your guys to look up to you, you got to earn their respect, and it's through doing shit. Guys that worked for me when I was a captain, if I did a drill with them, like we would go to a playground and I would, black them out, mask them out and everything. That was when this drill was kind of real popular. There was a lot of videos going on, but it's a great drill. Run the hose line around, take them in there, blindfold them, drop them off on the hose, tell them to find their way out. If, going through a playground, you got all the slides, you got the damn little tunnels and all this shit, just make it fun. And then I tell the guys, okay, bet, all y'all went, everybody did good, now set it up for me. Wind the hose, however in the hell you want to do it, then black me out, walk me over, and then I go do it. And they're like, damn, okay, well, Cap made us do it, and then he turned around and did it. It's just, it's this much. It takes this much fucking effort. 15 minutes of effort goes a long way with earning the credibility of your crew. So that's what I would encourage all you, company officers out there, whatever, if it's lieutenants, captains, whatever the hell, there's on the East Coast area, they call them sergeants, whatever the rank is, but if you're the leader of that crew, do the little things, man, and lay it the fuck out. Lay it out of how you would want it done to you. And that's ultimately what it all comes down to, man. We got to do unto others as you wish to be done unto you. I mean, it's that fucking simple. But earning the respect of your guys by letting them know your expectations and then finding out their expectations for you. Don't come in there thinking that just because you have bugles, that automatically means something. Because in the broader scheme of things, it doesn't. Not when you see chiefs over here that are getting arrested for pedophilia shit that has all 5 bugles, the most bugles you can get, and they're wrecking it. Public perception is everything, guys. Public perception is everything. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for everything the Third Alarm Cowboys has given me and given my guys. The doors it's opened up for this training. The connections that I've made across the entire nation at this point in time. We're traveling. This year, we're literally going from fucking North Carolina all the way to California. I would have never in a million years dreamed that that was the case of what we were going to be doing. And it's just simply because the message that we're trying to put out there is real. I'm not fake. The guy you see on here, the guy that y'all have listened to on audio, the guy y'all see on Facebook, the guy that responds to the emails when you have questions about an order, it is the same fucking dude, no matter what. That's the same guy that talks to his kids sitting at this kitchen table every night that they're here. The same guy that, plans a future with my wife and does, rodeos and all this. I'm the same dude, man. I'm the same guy. And I'm grateful for those of you that support me. I'm very grateful for those of you that support who I am as a person. And that's probably why I lost my cool, because it's not just that they were attacking a shirt. It's not just that they were attacking my friend, which is what pissed me off, but they're attacking real people. It's not a ha-ha funny whenever you actually pour your heart and soul into something and you actually are truly trying to do something good. It's not a ha-ha funny. I expect the hate, because when you're trying to make people better and you're trying to really go after character issues like, cheating on wives, doing drugs, drinking, pedophilia at this point, just all the different shit, that comes with a weight, and I totally understand that, and I totally, expect that. But whenever you have people that like literally start attacking you as a person and the things you believe in, it's like, all right, this is a whole new fucking fight. This is a whole new fight. And that's what I learned the other day, that it's a whole new fight. When I go to these conferences and stuff, it's not going to be all just about pump ops and fucking hand lines. It's going to be a real fight. It's just going to be, hey, we got a fucking issue. We got people in the fire service that like beating up and talking shit on handicapped people and humiliating handicapped people. We got people in the fire service that literally are pedophiles. We've got that, guys. We have that. And that's a hard realization I've learned over the last fucking week and a half now, since a lot of the other stories started coming out and then the social media stuff and all. It's like, damn, okay, that's who's in our ranks. So I'll fight it, but I'm also encouraging every single one of you that goes to conferences, goes to your departments. Some of you guys are already doing it. I'm going to tell y'all this. I appreciate the shit out of y'all that are jumping on grenades on social media and getting back in the comments and getting back in people's asses. I cannot thank y'all enough for that shit at all. Especially guys like some of you guys from Alabama that see people that are from your local town and you're jumping on that ass. Shout out to y'all. That's people in your fucking community wearing a badge in your community, in your area, that you now know deep down they're okay with beating up on a handicapped guy. That's what we got. That's what we got. So I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not okay with it. I want firefighters to be good fucking people again, and giving money away does not make you a good person. If you think that's all it takes, you need to, sorry, I hate to be the preachy guy, you go read the Bible because you can't buy your way to heaven. You can't. And too many people are going to learn that the hard fucking way as life goes on. So, guys, we'll be at Lift. I got my rooms, my flights, all that shit booked. We'll be at Lift. Then the very next week, we'll be in March Mayhem, Boise, Idaho. Then we're going to, I'm hosting 2 trainings here in Texas. We'll be in Arkansas coming up this year. We're going to be in North Carolina coming up this year. And multiple. I'm not even going to try to list them all in here. I will be putting it on the website. Guys, one more thing I would tell all of you. Yes, First Form is one of my sponsors, obviously right here. Get your energy drinks, get your supplements, all that kind of stuff. But guys, straight up, it is what it is. The way I make this business work, the way I make this podcast, the way I fund all this shit is through the shirts and the cigar sales. Point blank, that's what it is. I've got several different shirt designs on there if you don't want to rep the Firehouse Fist Fights, but I also have the Make Fire Chiefs Fight Fire Again, because that's another whole issue that I've covered countless times on here. We have fire chiefs that have never been a firefighter before, and yet they're running fire departments. So, I have different things, but every shirt that I have on my site has a meaning behind it. And for me, that meaning actually means something. For y'all, it may not, whatever, but you can support me through buying the shirts, buying the hats, buying the decals, all that stuff, buying the cigars. Payne Mason has backed us from the very beginning on the mission of this podcast, trying to make firefighters better. I sell the shit out of these things at conferences, man. They're the best cigars in the nation. They truly, truly are. Payne Mason is no joke. It's a premier cigar, truly hand rolled, no machine packing, no chemical dyeing to make the tobacco darker, none of that stuff. So, guys, that's 100% where it's at. If you want to support us and you believe in actually making firefighters better, which so many of you do, and as the messages I've gotten says the good outweighs the bad, let's start seeing the good, guys. You're brave enough to run into burning buildings. You're brave enough to stand up for each other inside the stations. Do it. Stand up for the shit. Don't cower down just because of social media. Don't cower down just because of some mayor. Don't cower down because of, bad politics or whatever. Don't cower down because the community and your brothers are fucking dependent on you. And that's what I leave you guys with. Company officers, take that one step, have that one expectations talk. It will make all the difference for you in your career, and move forward from that and stick by it. Stick by it, guys. Go to thirdAlarmCowboys.com. You want to book us for training? Email me, thirdAlarmCowboys@gmail.com. We'll see y'all on the next one.